the
Why,
audio's
hello,
in.
everyone. Can we be heard in this sector of the galaxy?
Testing. Is everybody good? Can everybody be heard?
I can
That's
hear
all we
you.
want to know. Yes, heard.
All right.
I
think
too
I got
would
these
like to
audio
know if I
things
am
down
heard.
these days. All right. All right. So, welcome, Lords and Ladies of Fate. In this stream, we play various tabletop role-playing games as you, the audience, earn fate chips that can be used to reward or punish your favorite players or their characters. Tonight, we are doing Star Trek. And I believe I'm the only character out of character. But we'll change that soon. Hopefully in next week. So we have Rockosaurus Rex as our Lieutenant Commander Bajor Berkizan.
Good evening, Commander.
We've got Amanda as it's Arla Burks, is that right? Arya Burks. Okay. And then Good Devil as Civic, our engineer.
Greetings, Commander.
Myself as Bal Chazorthus, the first officer. And our captain is Armand, playing Captain Roland Sykes.
At ease.
And of course we have Wayne as our GM.
Hello, all of you unworthy mortals.
Wait, I don't see anyone by that name. All I see is Q.
Yes, we're here,
Goes by many names.
as good as ever. Omnipotent again, unflappable again. Half through a bottle again.
I guess I should go ahead and give this a start, huh? Captain's log. Stardate 57299.01. The Norway, after weeks of shakedown, has been finally given its first mission, and I, for one, am excited to see how this crew will perform. Commodore Buckets of Starbase 17 has instructed us to head for the Talax system, where an emergency transponder signal has been detected. It appears to be the transponder signal of the USS Kitty Hawk, a ship thought to have been lost at the onset of the Romulan War some odd 250 years ago. What mysteries await this green crew on our inaugural mission?
On blue.
I'm not sure, but I'm willing to find out. Computer, strike that last line from the record.
Not willing to find out.
I don't want the captain to sound. I don't want the captain to sound unsure of himself in his official log.
Wait, are you doing all this on the bridge?
No, I assume I'm in the ready room.
Okay.
In my ready room.
Somebody's ready room.
So here is the ship approaching its the Kitty Hawk, and what was the planet again? Something
Talax 3.
Telex 3, a blasted, nasty, disgusting little world, devoid of life and fun. I think Picard would like it a lot.
Probably something to dig up.
Something
Down
there's
there.
something there. There's probably nothing even there to dig up. He couldn't even grow wine. But
Tell it to his brother.
so somehow I lost my screen. Great, thank you. All right. Yes. So as you all remember from last week, you're approaching the ship. It appears to be a dead hulk in space. What passes laughably for your security officer has scanned the nearby region and found nothing of import or consequence. Meanwhile, your doctor, who is certainly more competent than Beverly Crusher, has been able to sense nothing from this dead hulk. So you are able to now. You're on approach. You're not in orbit yet. You guys have some choices. I'm assuming that XO.
Yes.
You have the bridge apparently, so it's time to stage a coup.
All right. Great.
Here I go.
I've been waiting for this moment.
And meanwhile, the captain's just relaxing in his ready room, waiting to be informed that we're here, that we're ready.
because you know, space alarms have not been invented.
Is
Trust me.
is the Kitty Hawk?
Is that our
Actually,
bridge?
do have a question. Where is everyone deposited at the moment? I know of two characters.
I'd be at flight controls, I assume.
Yep. Well, or the comms, but I think you can run the ship just as easily from there. Bejor, you are probably on the bridge,
I am.
hanging out back there.
And I'm in the med bay getting the first aid kits ready because I hear they're leaving the boat.
Leaving the boat. And Engineer Civic, were you in the engine room, or were you going to be on the bridge for an inexplicable reason?
I would imagine I am in main engineering.
Okay. I'm going to have you currently just play this out on the bridge, unless there's other action or actions someone wishes to take.
Well, have it your fucking way.
Well, I will put you all like in little corners. Hold on. All right, just be a baby. Vulcans can be so whiny. They can only
Someone
whine
said
once
it.
every 6 years.
Is the Kitty Hawk in orbit?
Kitty Hawk is in some kind of an orbit, yes.
And if I recall correctly, we determined that there was or wasn't life forms in the scan. I can't remember.
There were no life form. Well, no one's actually scanned the ship on this, Bejor, because first you had a quick choice at the end of the adventure, what to kind of scan first, and you opted to say, well, let's make sure we're not going to get ambushed.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So what I did, yeah, oh yeah, no, it's completely a sound tactical strategy. I'm just going to put you guys over here on deck, as it were. You can report in or chime in as necessary from various locations.
So what position does the scanning for life forms? Is that security or is that flight
Well,
navigation?
security quite easily detect if people are alive or dead.
Yes, Commander, I recommend we scan for life forms aboard ship.
Yep. Do that. I'll go ahead and call the captain, let him know that we've arrived at Talax 3.
Life forms, you little life forms.
Yeah, I'll be right there. I'll be right there, XO. Just put down my data pad and.
Put a book note in Shakespeare. There we go. And there's the threat markers. I don't know if there's established spots for them. Am I about right? All right. So the orbital scan officer, Mr. Bejor, or not Mr. Bejor, Bejor, do you actually remember how to perform a scan?
Yes, performing now.
Okay. I was speaking mechanically.
I'm sorry?
Speaking mechanically.
Yes, that would be what?
Probably security and reason.
Yes. Okay, so that would be a total of 15.
Yep.
So I roll 2d20s.
20s, and this is a difficulty 1 task, so you need 1 success. Normally it's routine, but there is just an unusual amount of background radiation in the area. High quantities of chronoton and tau meson particles are in this region.
Is that coming from the planet?
It seems to permeate space.
Okay.
And yeah, go ahead and so you want to. What will happen is when you do a scan, you'll get your initial success. Any additional successes beyond that would be additional questions you can ask about the ship or about what you want to know in the scan.
Gotcha. Fate
Okay.
is not on my side as I rolled an 8 and a 6.
What is on your side?
What's
What
up?
was your target?
15?
Yeah, you want to go under.
You get 2 successes.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. That's why your stats are high, and therefore your roll goes lower. So
gotcha.
this-
Okay.
So you do have 2 successes. That puts you up with a bank of 5.
Great.
And also, keep in mind that one of the mechanics is that you can request aid or assistance, and also you can have the ship assist you with a single die roll to use its equipment. Like when this ship is actually not necessarily equipped for better scanning, but it could conceivably assist in weapons or maneuver.
I was assuming I was using the ship scanners when I was scanning for life forms.
Ship gets a little bonus. The ships pitch in on your side, so don't. Anytime you want to, you basically have Mr. Tricorder, right?
Is that what he looks like?
Where you have Starship and Mr. Starship or Mr. Shuttle or Ms. Shuttle can they can use a single die roll. Remember how the engineer assisted? Who was our ensign? Who was your assistant again? Sip?
There were a few of them. We had
Tucker.
Jenkins and Tucker.
Oh yeah, I helped the hell out of you. He's over there.
Tucker.
He's by you, just say, "Oh yeah, they should have tied in the extra scan array." Oh well, better luck next time. Should would have given it a single die roll. It would have been great. So Tucker's gonna metagame about this, but Tucker read the manual, unlike everyone else. So so if you do say, well, can the ship, can I use facilities? Is there any facility here that will help? Is a good common question to ask, because there's the tool just to accomplish the task, and then the tool could be better. Like you just bought it. You don't just have the Harbor Freight tool. You've got the Black Vector tool.
Oh, nice.
So that's how you're looking at it.
We've come full circle.
Come full circle. So anyway, you pretend the ship assisted you. So would you roll a single d20 against your target again?
You said a single d20?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
One for an assistant.
I got a 10.
Got a 10. So that's good enough. So you actually have altogether 6 successes, or 6 total banked success. And you didn't quite tell me what question you were going to ask before you started throwing them dice.
Oh, I thought I did. I wanted to scan for life forms.
Okay. There are absolutely no humanoid life forms aboard.
I told you.
Which does confirm the doctor's feeling that I don't think told anybody about. She was just down in the med bay, wishing away.
Trills never listen.
I wanna look back at security and go.
Are you on the bridge yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was called.
Okay.
I'll look back at security and go. How about life support? Is life support functioning on the ship?
Okay. So what'll happen is this is now a game of costs per question.
Yes.
Okay.
Just to let you know. Okay, part of it is I just want to let you know, the ship is very much, as it appears, it doesn't appear that there's any lights on. There's nothing going on that ship. But the answer to life support is no, and it's almost at space, at space background temperature.
It's dead, Captain.
It's like we should probably break out the EVA suits.
That's a wonderful idea, EXO. Why don't you get an away team together? Bring the chief medical officer along with you, just in case.
So I would assume that I should probably bring our security guy, our medical officer. I'll take our chief engineer. That way we can kind of see if we can get something up and running over there, maybe.
Yeah, see if you can get life support. See if you can get any functions of the ship running. Maybe we can get it back to Starbase 17 under its own power. If if anything can go our way today.
All right. Yeah, that should be good. That's 4, right?
Oh yeah, you can bring, you can just bring a whole bunch of people if you want. What I'm gonna is, yep. Oh, go ahead.
Let's bring another security person just to be on the safe side.
Did crewman Jenkins ever make it back from the bathroom on the starbase onto the ship? Did we ever resolve that?
Crewman Jenkins is still without a person without portfolio. He is not here. He never made it back. And Jenkins stayed behind. So is there anything you want to prep before you go over? I think everybody's got one of these bad boys. Deep.
Yeah, everybody should have their communicators, tricorders, phasers.
What?
Indeed.
Keep an open comm link. I'll monitor you from the bridge.
I'm bringing a med pack apiece.
For each person?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then, technically, Doc, you would be equipped with Phaser 1, but I didn't copy the graphic. And what I'm going to do is give you a med kit, and that'll be a stand-in for everybody's med kit. Your comm badges are your comm badges. Is there anything else you want to have as equipment that you mentioned but didn't explicitly say you were equipping?
The engineer, you should probably have something for.
Yes, I was going to say I should probably bring over a generalized toolkit.
There you go. Space wrench.
Space wrench. The latest and greatest in space technology. Space wrench.
Commander, if we may, it's just a bit of a little superstition that I have. Before we transport onto a dead ship, I always like to, or a seemingly dead ship, I always like to invoke a famous character from a 20th century TV show, stream of movies. His name was a Swedish chef, so I will begin now. That's all.
Interesting. Okay, let's carry on.
Old drill custom.
Yeah, I put you all in the plastic armor.
I find it more fascinating that he's been on enough dead ships to merit a tradition.
I don't really like to talk about it that much.
I love Vulcan humor. It's so dry.
Empty box. Bad joke. So, stay behind. Correct?
I am only answering the calls of fate.
Calls of fate. All right. So, are you guys prepared to? What we didn't include Ensign Red Shirt. Hold on.
Is the captain not coming with us?
That would be against Starfleet protocol.
And there, oops, he is a TNG. Okay, so this is Ensign Trip. And he'll just be with us, and I'm sure he'll be just fine.
Canary in a coal mine? Anyone?
He's ready to go.
Okay.
He's actually doesn't know what the heck's going on, so it's like, holy, this is really weird. Where are we going? What we plan on seeing when we get there?
Hopefully nothing.
Okay, I brought my phaser and I got my pajamas. Should I put on a hat too?
Yes.
Or pile. Starfleet.
Should I put on a hat? Oh man, I'm gonna have a lot of work for the XO when it comes to staffing of this ship.
Yeah, and the shakedown cruise doesn't need everybody to pull their own weight. But this would be actually, Bijar, this is actually one of your guys. So Trip is one of your people, as far as I can tell, as he is a security officer.
Yes,
And you might. What is there any?
personally, it'll be
Is there
great.
any 2 words that you think would describe Ensign Trip other than Gomer?
Both tall and
Oh, we're really doing this. Okay. Yeah, he tells tall tales, and he has a short temper.
nice.
And I'll be dipped if I remember that, but you guys keep me honest.
You know what would
All
be
right.
easier to remember?
What?
Numb nuts.
True. He prefers Trip, man.
Hey, that was
so-
my nickname in college.
That was the
They never learn.
that was on my Instagram, and I made a lot of money for a very special act. All right. So you guys are ready to go down, right?
Affirmative.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to do this because I spent money on these effects. Okay.
Yeah, if you're playing, the sound effects, we're not hearing it.
Oh no. I'm giving it all she's got right here, buddy.
Gotcha. Just making
Right now,
sure.
I only got 2 hands, Captain. I just can't do it. All right, let's give this a shot and see if it actually works. Did you guys have a particular spot you were going to beam into? Just for giggles.
I guess we would probably start on the bridge where most of the major controls will probably be accessible.
I agree,
Okay.
Commander.
Yeah.
Then we can check the ship's log while we're at it.
Okay. Well
Defendable
done.
position.
Did
Yes.
that actually make it through?
Yes.
It
Yes.
absolutely
All
did.
Yes.
right.
And it was perfect.
Fantastic.
1 in a row. All right. So here we go. You have successfully remember there was Jenkins's friend, and that was Steve Stevenson, and he's a Tellarite, and he is under the he is actually one of Civic's crew. Civic, do you want to tell me about our transporter chief, Stevenson Tark?
Are you talking to me, Sivek?
I am talking
or-
to you.
or-
This is a player decision. You get to staff your area.
And I'm sorry, the ensign's name?
The ensign's name. You should know the people that work for you. Man.
Well, as we discovered,
it is
most of our
Ensign,
crew was brand spanking new.
Yes, or you've known them for 4 weeks and just completely forgot about them. Certainly, they all swapped over from the pilot, so everybody's really confused.
Different actors. It's just crazy.
Different actors. We recast everybody. The only person to hold out is the medical officer. She had a really good contract and no other options. So Stevenson Tark, who is a either male or female Tellarite. You can also make up extra genders.
Benson, a male, and 2 words to describe: efficient and trustworthy.
I like that in the transporter, Chief.
Oh man.
Jeez.
Yeah, but I get to turn it into a weird wish. So, the transporter cycle engages. Svensson and you still are in the transporter pad. here. And Svensson is looking at the controls and is like, just, this is ridiculous. Hold on, this is like, this is just supposed to be solid duranium hull. This should not be a problem. And then he actually asks Sevik, "Sir, could you come here and help me with this? I'm getting some really strange resonance scans off of that ship now that I've tried to do a transporter lock."
Interesting. And I'll walk over to the ensign.
And what you see, this is if you want to generate some Jomentum, this is a sorry, while I copy your happy chips over there. You can look at its engineering and reason at a difficulty 1, and you can roll 2 or more dice. This is you diagnosing the issue.
Engineering reason 16. And just to make extra sure, I would like to use one of our momentum points to add an extra die. We've got a 2, a 12, and a 20.
Ooh, that 20 hurts.
That's when you bought that extra die, too. You paid for that 20. Oh, the universe is so deliciously wonderful. This is what you get for not simply trusting your own intuition. So, what was it? Something is 16 and so you got 2 successes. You only needed 1, which was good. You banked 1. But there is, unfortunately, there is a complication in that it looks like while the ship is equipped with multiple transporters, you can actually only maintain 5 patterns at a time. For this, there's something incredibly bizarre going on with the ship. This is to the ship, right? Beaming to the ship only essentially gives you 5 data channel. And what I'm going to do is put up a trait, which you bought. You bought this, man. Trait is and try and get my techno buzz babble out of the way here. There we go. Because I can't spell. All right. So I've equipped a trait and inflicted on this scene. This is what's causing the transporter. This is a situation that has to do with the resonance in the hull, which is like nothing either of you had seen before. Because, as you know, Svensson is a very competent transporter chief and all-around good engineer, unlike most of the other you've encountered. And he has no problems normally doing something like this. So this is an odd thing, and this is a 22nd century ship. It shouldn't have anything that should interfere with a 200-year more advanced transporter. But you do only have 5 data channels, but he says, "Okay, sir, I think we've got it. But I think I can set you down on the bridge. That's the big domey thing, right?"
Indeed it is.
There
But
for
considering our reduced ability to transport, perhaps it would be more logical to send us in teams of 2 and 3.
That's a wise precaution, sir. Let me get on that. Who wants to go over first? Begins making clucking noises.
I would
I will
assume
go first, with the first group to
commander
secure
and
the area.
2 security personnel probably first would make the most sense.
Oh, is that in... All right.
Captain, if I may, I would like to go over with the first group. I am detecting something off here. There's something going on with the ship. There's no life forms aboard. I think I should go first, and I think we should establish that if we lose communications, we'll stay in place so that you can beam us back right away. Because there could be something else going on this ship. Something doesn't feel right.
Ensign Tark, you are to maintain a transporter lock on the away team at all times. At the first sign of trouble, do not wait for my order. Transport them back.
All right, Captain. I will do my best. So who? I'm not sure. You're all just jumbling on and off that pad, the emitter pads right now. Let's see if I can do this. Trait, and this is a thing which I'll call a standing order. And the standing order is and I can't spell, but you guys, that's half the fun of watching me do this. All right. But there's also an additional trait on the scene that's not going to cost you anything. It's just an order that's there to remind me and everybody else of what we should be doing if there's an issue. Okay, so, well, I understand the medical officer has some serious opinions about who's going over. Sir, what should we do?
Very well. Let us send them in the configuration they find most comfortable. Ensign Trip?
Oh, I was actually talking to the XO.
Oh.
Sorry, sir. I have to talk to the other sir.
I think we should stick with the original plan because I think the chief medical officer is far too valuable to risk on this.
Hey.
What is it? Who are you sending over?
The 2 security personnel and myself.
All right, I get you. All right, and I'm going to say, Doctor, you're gone but not forgotten. And I've got to leave. She'll send over her phaser because I can't remove.
So,
I always forget something when I go away.
Oh yeah, he could use a phaser. It's the one thing he forgot to bring.
It's like
dumb question. You guys are bringing No, they get tricorders. That's like just dumb.
Resonance interference or whatever.
That's like standard operating procedure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Everybody gets a tricorder now because they got the budget. It was like Mr. Spock had a leather strap and Naugahyde covered cardboard box, and he was good. By the way, Ensign Trip has what is called a security tricorder. You have a general purpose tricorder, and whatever that means, we'll have to decide in play. But just to let you know, they'll all do basic life forms, knowing about things. But the security tricorder may allow you to assess a tactical situation a little more easily, and maybe give you an initiative bonus. That kind of thing.
And Chief of Security should be going over too.
So, sir,
we're going to do 3.
Oh, yep. Let's get him over here. You did say both security officers, and I'm sorry, but you just don't carry yourself like a security officer, sir. You're just too friendly. It's the spots. They may call
the Swedish chef impression.
You have yet to see me in battle.
The Swedish chef impression.
Hey.
Movie night was a hoot.
We're all still alive with this weird hyperbaryonic resonance.
So far.
So
they're hyperbaryonic shadows.
You can leave my Swedish chef mantra alone. Commander.
Which commander is it? Hold on, wait. Who's? Oh, you guys were slapping each other. Let me see. Yeah, no. So far, no one's violated space HR. So good for you. You remain unreported for training for further sensitivity training. Congratulations.
Mission is still young.
The mission is young, but the DM is not. All right, so we are going to try and. All right, I'm
Ooh,
going to try and
that
send
was
you
loaded.
over.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Sorry,
All
wrong
right,
universe.
It's a trip.
we're gonna try and send you over again, and okay, and that time you made it. So, congrats.
Something so
Uh,
satisfying about
you
that
appear
sound.
you
Rough
appear
trip.
await field.
It's so
Um,
bright.
Let me grab. So bright. Congratulations, Jean Luc. You're dead.
Such a great episode.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to certain things about shows. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so if you have your own internal sound effects or song music, because I didn't want to put any musical stings in because I'm lazy.
Oh God.
And let me get you out here, and of course. The ship is completely dark. This bridge is actually black, pitch dark. The only thing is the lights in your helmets illuminating the scene, and it is a grim scene of a surprisingly period-specific bridge. And about you, you find, well, you're still beaming. All right, let me firm you up. And I got to make sure I touch everything up. These red markers, hopefully you will not become too familiar with them. That indicates that is either a dead or incapacitated person or object.
All right. Are these
All right, you beam
incapacitated
into
people?
this.
Oh.
It's black. Yes.
I was just gonna
Oh,
ask.
go ahead. Yep.
We beam into darkness and stumble over lifeless, motionless bodies. Because even though nobody can see underneath the screen, Wayne sits like this.
I imagine we have some kind of like headlamps on these things or something, so we can at least look around, right?
Yes. That is how you were actually the first. You beam in, the beams are ahead because you knew it was going to be dark. You also have another issue. The ship has a trait, dead ship, if you'll notice. Some say an inanimate object cannot truly be alive, but you humans attach such importance to inanimate objects. It's just a weakness of the species, I suppose. However, this is a truly dead hulk of metal. There is no energy emanating that you can detect whatsoever, which includes turbolifts, lights, heat, and gravity. Luckily, your boots are all space magnets, so they will stick to whatever the floor surface is. Don't try and walk up the wall. I will cut a bitch. Get all smarty pants about this. You get all Spider-Man, we'll have a talk. You don't have the budget for that. But you will pretend and walk in a very, very special zero-G way to tell the audience.
So all these bodies are floating?
Yeah, more or less. Actually, they're not floating because they didn't have any inertia to lift them off.
So are they bodies or are they like decayed in any fashion?
So these are happily preserved by the vacuum of space and the icy cold. Now, is this safe enough to bring the remaining of the crew over, who are really
everybody got
really
their bits on them?
to participate?
Everything in the right spot?
Both antenna. Yeah. Bebop, Rocksteady. Yep, Bebop and Rocksteady are on. That's what I named them. All right, so I'm going to bring over the remaining crew. This is back in the transporter room. Did you want to report in? Because that's actually what
Yes.
Yeah, we need to tell the captain we landed.
We've arrived on the bridge. Everything's okay. Everything's secure. The rest of the crew can, or rest of the party can beam over.
Wonderful. Keep the comm line open. Keep me apprised of anything that happens.
Affirmative.
Okay, I'll be putting you over. I'm just going to say it's got no gravity and it's dark. So I hate to say he's going to be a little sexist about this to the doctor. I just realized it, and now we're just going to roll with it. But he's just saying it's going to be beaming into the dark is always unnerving. I don't know how often you've had to do that. Just left. Sorry about that. I got to.
Hey, Captain, he said the bridge. He meant the fridge. We are in a refrigerator full of floating corpsicles.
Don't take your helmets off.
Let me see. Not yet.
Whatever you do.
Yes, sir.
Ensign, I'm sure the doctor will take that under advisement. Energize.
Hang on. Okay, I've got to pop it back in here. Give me a sec to grab everything I need to. And we do not want to leave the med kit behind, right? That'd be a thing.
I love the phaser.
Hold control and click Ensign Trip, and it'll unselect him. Control or shift.
Didn't we take a community college course in office automation? Thank you, though. I do appreciate it. I'm just going to let my inner bitchy Q come on out. I appreciate your. I actually do appreciate your input. I do. Whoops. Oh, shoot.
That's the nicest way somebody's ever told me to shut the fuck up.
In our house, we call it insufferable know-it-all.
Actually.
Well, I have to allow you these little wins because otherwise you just would quit playing because you knew it was pointless and hopeless to succeed. So you do beam over.
I tell him that every night.
So you do beam over. I'm assuming you have to decide kind of what you want to do. The corpses are not floating. I just wanted to contradict the good doctor. These are all affixed. They're not affixed. They're on the deck, presumably where they fell. And looking around, what you do see are Starfleet crew members, as well as these other crew members that are not human and are dressed in what look a whole lot. They're reminiscent. They've got shoulder pads to beat the band. And kind of this woven metal fabric, and they look like Vulcans. But you do recognize them. Who is a doctor? You have a Starfleet upbringing. These are Romulan. You recognize these as Romulan soldiers from the 22nd century.
Commander, recommend we check the ship's log.
Agreed. Engineer, try to get us some lights on here.
I will do what I can. And CVEC will go over to, hopefully he'd be able to identify the engineering station on an older ship.
He will. One other thing I'm going to do is have a standing order trait, which is called old ship. And what that will do is any rolls for the first couple of hours that you're on the ship will be a penalty. They'll be 1 degree more difficult to succeed at because you are kind of downshifting from, say now to the Revolutionary War. So that's how long ago this was. This was like George Washington. You're going back to George Washington's time.
I couldn't load a musket. I know for a fact I couldn't load a musket.
You really don't want to know about the toilet paper.
The 3 seashells.
The three
He
shells.
doesn't know
only
how
had
to use the seashells.
In my day, we only had 2 shells. We made 2. So,
was talking on the phone, you couldn't get on the internet.
yeah. Hold on. You're attempting to boot up the computer.
Not enough bandwidth.
14.4 modem.
Oh, I finally found out what the problem was. This one ran out of AOL time.
I got a
Sir, there
CD
was so
right
many free
here.
memberships.
It's another disc. Yes. So, actually, Civic, you quickly discover one important thing about the ship. It's a dead ship. Like when you say, "Let's get some lights on up here,"
No power.
okay, no Energizer Bunny. Mr. Civic, you can at difficulty level 0. Knowing how you roll, you might not want to do this. I'm just saying, you got you some cursed dice, mother. But if you want to roll against reason and engineering, and you have EPS power systems, so you actually have a critical range that makes this better. To diagnose the problem, if you can't, as a player, guess this already. That's what the issue might be. Well, actually, no. It's better to do a roll.
My guess would be that I might be able to switch on to emergency power. If it hasn't been drained already.
Okay, you're attempting to. I mean, it's up to you if you want to attempt a roll or not. Because it's a 0 level task to kind of. Well, actually, no, it's a 1 level task.
Because of the old ship, right?
The old ship, yeah.
So you said reason and engineering, correct?
Yes, which you have in spades.
A 7 and a 19.
Man, you really need more dice.
Well, at least you didn't get a 20. At least you didn't get a 20.
I'm wondering where these rolls are on my Wednesday nights.
So yes, you have the best. You have the right dice, wrong night. So your difficulty level 1. You're attempting to switch to emergency power, and literally there's nothing in the banks, and that is an incredibly odd situation because the ship is 250 years old, and it should have some remaining dregs of antimatter reserve or something. But 250 years would be, cutting it close, but you'd never seen something this inert. I mean, it's just clicking switches and that's it. But there should be some, so you can convey that how you wish, but there should be some last, watt of power back in the EPS grid. At least enough.
Not even. Sorry. Commander, the ship appears to have no remaining power of any sorts. It's most unusual.
All right. Let's see what we find in the logs. And I suppose I would like to actually assist in checking the logs.
Could you even access them?
That's a good question.
That's what I was just about to ask.
Can we scan for additional power sources? The ship.
Unlikely, Doctor, as all my scans have turned out that the ship that we're on has 0 energy in any of its remaining banks. It is most unusual. It is almost as if it was drained of all power before the crew met their untimely fate.
Is there something that we can do to apply power to the system to get the log?
Real quick. Correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't the ships of this era run differently on different power sources than the current ships?
They have. You've got your basic matter and antimatter. They don't go wrong on you. No mushrooms in this baby.
It wasn't the original ones done on dilithium.
Dilithium was all ships use dilithium as you could think of it as a conduit for the matter antimatter reaction. So they're the spark plug. The gasoline or the space coal is actually antimatter. So the lithium just lets you harness the antimatter
Gotcha.
efficiently. But it is, believe it or not, as Mr. LaForge pointed out, the fundamentals of Starfleet tech and space travel haven't changed much in 250 years. However, which is why the engineer is baffled, because you should still have some juice left in these things, just a little. 200 years is a lot, but in a cold shutdown, it should at least keep something. And of course, the logs of themselves are accurate. There was a comment about a battery or additional power supplies. Who is doing that? All right. You know what? Your next roll is without penalty, because that was a good idea. So remind me of that when you have to go fumble around and shoot something. Okay? Got it. All right. So, yes, you can do that. You can actually probably get an old duonetic enhancer and have a battery sent from the ship, essentially to power systems locally. Would that work?
Power just the stuff that's on the bridge where we're at.
Yeah, you'd be able to carry it around. You probably get a couple
Let's
of
do
them
one
ship
for
stores.
now. Make sure. Let's find out what happened before we start.
Okay.
Expanding past the bridge.
Oh, okay. Hold on just a second. Do you want to talk to somebody? Oh, wrong era.
Who would I call for that?
I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
the captain would be a good idea.
Captain, we have absolutely no power here, which is very peculiar. We're gonna try to get one of those. If we can get one of those portable power supplies over here. I'd like to find out what would actually happen here before we start bringing over too much stuff or personnel.
Agreed, Commander. I will have a power supply beamed over to the bridge immediately, and I'll look at ops and I'll be like, "Do it."
Okay, hold on. I got something to go with here. Yes, sir. How's it going? I'm here. And within about a second, Ensign Efficient. Okay, and that was the beam in and a lightning bolt. All right. So this is a portable power supply. It has 8 charges. And I will randomly decide how much something is worth after you've decided to charge it.
Brutal.
Because that's just the way things go. That with your oxygen, at least. Oh, by the way, you all have the suits are at least self-sustaining for 48 hours. And the waste is collected in the catch pockets on the thigh. So we're just gonna deal with that. There's a micro transporter all of you had to insert before you went into the mission. It will take care of other eliminations. So that's where that goes. But there's the micro power. There's the power supply for you. XO, you wanted it to start hooking
Let's
up
start
things?
with the ship's log.
Okay. Other people can do other things while this happens. I'm assuming that engineer, you're probably in charge of hooking this baby up, right?
I was going to say I can assist the XO in installing the power supply to make sure everything works properly.
Okay. So this is engineering and control, because it's a little fine, delicate work.
17.
Which is hindered greatly by your terrible suit. And I'm glad your dice are agreeing with me.
13 and 8.
13 and 8. I thought you had a 17. Okay. 13 and 8. That's what. All right. You did need 2 successes to get that because of the suit, the age, and that. And so what you have is. Oh, you don't have that. Just trying to. I'm sorry about this. All right, you actually do have access to what could be the ship's logs. They're the files are fragmented, and engineer, as you've noticed, there should be a lot. I mean, would you please explain how completely robust Starfleet technology is, using as many buzzwords as you can think of? You can even use, by the way, as a Vulcan talking down to an Andorian, you're welcome to use whatever metaphor you wish.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. Vulcans and Andorians don't
Yeah.
play nice together.
It's 150 years, but these don't forgive or forget.
So what you're saying, I could just turn to the commander and say, Jalar, when the walls fell. And he would simply have to work with this?
Try it.
Fascinating.
I believe that try me is the phrase I would like. Yes.
Commander, it appears that the restrictive module of this console is not allowing us to retrieve all the data. It appears much of it is fragmented. However, I can do what I can to restore as much of the data as I can.
Great.
Our predecessors were every bit as studious as us. It seems unlikely that they would leave the cause of their destruction behind. Or not leave the cause of their destruction behind. All right. And
So I can, honestly, you do open this baby up with those little boops and beeps, and you're confronted with just a shambles of a directory structure. It's sort of like someone just took, shotgun pellets at a bit of parchment would be a description of this.
that's apt. Very apt.
And it just ripped through the entire data core. I mean, that's what you imagine in your head is like, oh, the poor fucking Duotronic data core is just shredded, because it's bringing back single letters, symbols, partial images, nothing. And again, in this era, they didn't have super good recordings. It was mostly text that they drew entered, because they seemed to be limited to 1960s imaginations of computers. So,
And if I can ask a meta question, do the crewmen have anything identifying on their persons?
well, you're somewhat occupied. However, there are several people standing around waiting to use the micro transporters that they've installed. Maybe they could do something else.
Yeah, at this point, let's get the lights on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Doctor. I want to switch from the gathering intelligence gathering party to other characters. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as soon as we can see well enough to examine the bodies, I think it would be wise to try to determine the cause of death.
Well, you're a doctor and you got a flashlight. That's all you need.
Okay.
I mean, in my opinion, you're a Starfleet doctor. You've got your lights from the helmet. You can look. You've seen some grisly stuff,
Okay.
obviously. You've all been. Well, no, it's the time of peace in the Federation, but the Borg's got you a little more focused on the horrors of war. But yeah, what would you like to do?
I would like to examine the bodies
Okay,
and
which
determine cause of death.
any particular one?
I'll start with the Romulans because I assume that they were here last.
Okay.
If they're on a ship, it's not their ship.
Okay. Upon examining the Romulan bodies, and there's no obvious penalty because it's not equipment, and it's just a routine medical. There's no signs of violence on these bodies. They seem to have simply collapsed. And I don't know if you want to use your tricorder to get any more. I mean, this is just you looking at them.
Yeah, I do.
Until you tell me you're waving a light over it. That's what
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I
wave a
just
light
had
over it.
used insight in medicine.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's a 0 level thing to go. Well, they collapse where they are. But if you want to get insight in medicine as a to go through a diagnosis, so it's a difficulty level 1 task.
Okay. Two dice.
2 dice. Roll low.
Oh my god. 20 and 15.
Ooh.
Seriously, what your target was? What?
13.
What? Well, that's just brilliant.
And
Okay.
again, why can't this happen to me tomorrow night?
Oh,
I'm playing.
delicious irony. You are reaching crusher levels of competence. How can I make this any better for you?
Leave Beverly alone.
When you are scanning this horribly creature that died alone, possibly in fear for its life, but you stoically sucked it up because it was a Romulan. You bump it with your incompetent and rather beefy hands, and it crumples into dust under your careless ministrations. The particles falling apart slowly in 0G and beginning to just come away ever so slightly. It's as if it was desiccated. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Older than 250. Because something like that wouldn't just disintegrate, right?
Correct.
So maybe the ship time travel through a black hole. That's why the power's all gone, because it's actually like 1,000 years old.
Has someone been reading my Christmas list? I love when a player just decides to go off on their own and doesn't understand the merest fraction of the universe. So, you have this crumpled to death. You've done a series of logical leaps worthy of any NG writer. And it is up to you whether
Watching for the first time Wayne doesn't allow time travel.
So, you guys all get to decide exactly, wait, where did time travel come into this? And Puff the Magic Dragon is just behind that door. So, yeah, it crumples into dust, into essentially mummy dust. You presume this as an issue. You put together the body and the power supply and assumed great age. Now I don't know what quite to do with that. So what is everyone going to do with this information? I say that the security officer tries to shoot one of them and see what happens, but that's just me.
He is the next one to do something.
Yeah, I am. Yes, Bijor, you seem to be standing about and wishing that there was there was a Wi-Fi connection for your eyeball.
Stepping out for a sec, I was actually trying to gift somebody a subscription to the channel, so I apologize for my aloofness.
That's
so
okay.
You guys gonna give me some shit still, or what?
Yeah, we will. As they say on the Cerritos, the Enterprise can do both. It can generate traffic and repel boarders. I expect you not to miss your targets. And also, I'm glad I had glasses on because I just spit my drink into my eyes. Okay. So, I don't know how much of this you plugged into. Doctor, do you wish to bring the to recreate your dramatic moment for us all again? She touches a body. The body disintegrates like an ancient withering corpse. The particles float slowly and deadly in the 0G, a very unnatural sight that many a CG animator has spent a sleepless night perfecting for just.
After daydreaming, I noticed just a random Romulan arm going by my face.
Pieces of it, yes.
Yes, pieces of it.
So, yeah, is there anything you'd like to investigate or think about or question, or do you just want to kind of pass? It's okay.
Are we able to leave the bridge at this point?
You can
Physically.
you can find a ladder. The entire ship is connected through with non-powered Jeffrey tubes that you can just kind of climb around in. There's little space ladders everywhere, including the bridge.
Yeah, Commander, with your permission, I'd like to take my security officer with me and do a little bit of exploring and see if there's anything else we can do to unravel this mystery.
Okay, stay close.
Are you sure about that, sir? Have you looked at the color of our shirts?
My shirt seems to be fine. What's the
Not
problem?
important enough to have a first name, so it would sure help me if no, he's like, golly, it would sure help me if I had a first name so I know that you cared.
Dog meat. Follow me.
Okay, let's see if I can. Oh, I'm gonna take his helmet off, and he's not gonna die.
Are you sure? I'm just gonna breathe in some Romulan dust.
His head explodes. Yeah, I'll just keep my hat on. Thank you very much. All right. I don't know if you guys spotted his name.
Alpo.
Alpo, nice.
Let me add that to my list of crew members.
Yes. Oh yeah. Did we get any?
I did not receive any like ones from the fans to use. I will keep a spreadsheet if anyone ever wants to suggest names.
Please keep a spreadsheet if the current wants to.
Yeah, well, no, that is what I'm doing too. I want to make sure that I know my crew.
All right, so Ensign Alpo, and Sec, not Sec, Bejor, you're going to take a little journey. You're going on a journey. Is there any place you know about how starships work? They're all laid out about the same, haven't changed much in 200-300 years. Where is it you'd like to head?
I'd like to look around and see if I can find an access panel somewhere.
Okay, you do know roughly where the emergency hatch is because it's got big letters above it says emergency hatch, and it will not lead to space.
I go for the emergency.
Okay, so from there you can get an emergency hatch. Where in the ship would you like to try and climb?
I would like to head toward engineering.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you guys in a white void for the moment. First, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to replicate it, and we're going to do a smart thing called split the party, right? Okay.
Rule number 1 in any tabletop RPG: always split up.
Oh, the DM loves that.
It just makes it easier to pick everybody apart.
Oh, God, yes. Sec, accidentally, you left a lot of things behind. Give me a second. And your corpse marker. I mean, the red dot.
No, not mine. I believe you were speaking to Ensign Alpo.
Hold on, I'm just going to...
Ensign Alpo
No,
looks a
this
little
is the
wide. Is he going to fit in that
Discover-
emergency
this is-
hatch?
Yeah, Ensign Alpo is going to have some issues here. Well, hold on, sir. I'm fixing to get this done.
We're going to have to put him on a training regiment when we get back.
Copy. I'm on the senior diet, sir. Cycle 3. All right, so you guys are... we'll just put that quietly over here.
Ruh-roh.
And again, now here's the thing: are we playing Discovery rules or are we playing TOS rules? Just saying. Suddenly, no, wait, no. Both characters are firmly established as heterosexual, correct? And they're
unknown.
not, and you're not in any relation, and you're not in any relationship. So that means you're immune to being killed. Those are the two reasons that you die in Star Trek: is you're in a relationship, so that automatically death kills you by the end of the episode.
Yes, I do not have a symbiote as of yet.
As of yet, okay. I'm going to say you pop out in a corridor, if that's all right. Oh, that was big. All
That
right.
is a James T. Kirk era looking corridor. Oh yeah.
Mm. Um, and as you guys are walking along in the corridor, actually, I should have done this one, but F me. You guys are, I'm assuming you're just walking along in the corridor.
Yes. Trying to find engineering.
Made a mistake here, sorry. And I'm gonna hand wave this. Oh, man, I hate this thing. There's a way to group and there's a way to not quite group. But I really hope you guys get things established because I am dying here. There. All right, take that, Hero Forge. So as you're walking along, you discover you come upon this little charming
Now, being that this is an
scene.
older ship, is
Yes.
there a way for me to, without power, get a schematic or a map, or do I just know where to go to get towards engineering in this class of ship?
Well, you know, there's a hint. Not taking any hints, are you?
No, I'm sorry. No, I
Hold on.
accidentally turned down my communicator all the way when I was moving.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there is. Where did it go? All right, sorry. So, you might consider something. I don't know, like that would help. Anybody you want to call?
Chief Engineer Civic.
Okay.
Which way would I go to get towards main engineering?
Muted.
Right now, I'm in the main corridor after leaving the access tunnel.
You can even name the corridor number because they have it's stenciled all over the place. So you can say you're in deck 3, section 3, or something like that.
Deck 3, section 3. That's exactly where I am.
On most Starfleet starships, you'll find main engineering. Four more rows down, and turn to the left.
I'd like to scan the corridor with my tricorder before I continue.
Okay.
And
is there anything in particular you were looking for? Other than trouble.
Yes, just trouble. Anything that would bring me.
Well, there are these two corpses. There are these two corpses that the DM has put almost as if you were supposed to stumble upon them.
Do they look similar to the ones on the bridge?
There is a Romulan, there is a human, but there seem to be high energy weapon discharges into this poor little mortal chest. And also some damage to the what's it called? The thing called a wall. I believe call it the wall. People call it a wall, and there's also a weapon in the Romulan's hand and a weapon in the crewman's hand.
We really hadn't established on the bridge that that a conflict had taken place, other than the fact that we know that Romulans and the Federation don't get along, correct?
Well, they were at war.
Yes.
But you can contact the medical officer. She might have further observations about the bodies that she found there. other than they crumble delightfully.
Dr. Burks, did you by any chance, before you touched that body and completely disintegrated it, notice if there were any phaser burns on it?
No, there were none on the bodies on the bridge. The only thing that we observed about the bodies, apart from the disintegration that was interesting, was that they are completely inert. They are not floating, even though there's complete lack of gravity. There were no wounds, either pre-mortem or post-mortem, on any of the bodies. In fact, when I touched one, it just disintegrated. What happens to the bodies if you touch them?
I'm not touching either of these bodies, but I will tell you that there are some signs of a struggle here. I've got a couple of phaser hits and a shot into the wall, which definitely tells me there's a conflict here on deck 4.
Well, I think you should record their images so that I can study the effects of the blaster wounds later. And then I think you should touch one to see if it disintegrates, to see if there's any structural differences between the bridge and the hallway.
Doctor, I would like to know why you have this fascination with touching dead bodies to see if they disintegrate, but that's
It's critical.
question for another time.
Do I outrank him
Well,
in the game? In the game.
this is the point at which the weird part is. I'm going to just say, this is where you took like lieutenant commander, and I believe he is a full commander. However, do you have doctor's orders?
I do.
He does.
Commander,
as a
make
meta
dog
thing,
meat do it.
I'm sorry,
yeah,
I am.
as a meta thing, it does say medically this is sound. You could just literally bullshit your way through this. Medically, I believe this is necessary. And
Also-
suddenly,
Don't forget, Lieutenant Commander, that you have someone you can delegate to.
Correct. You can ask dog meat to do it. Or you can just do it. Whatever.
Ensign Alpo, get the information that the doctor requires. I'm going to move on.
me, sir?
Yes, you. I'm not talking to
Is the
anybody
voice-
else here wearing a red shirt, am I?
Well, technically, sir, we're both wearing gold shirts,
Oh,
but that's essentially to the red shirt. Yeah.
sorry, my
Hold
eyes.
on,
my eyes
I'm
messed
trying
up.
to find some period-specific artifacts. There it is. I gotta find a period-specific artifact. And that, and that. All right. I spent time on it. If the DM spends time on it, you're gonna see it. Okay. I have a feeling that works in several other games.
Oh yeah.
You're going through that. You're gonna see my model.
Even if we kill it immediately because it's trying to split us up and eat us.
Yes.
Rest in
Gonna see
peace.
this
Dick.
model. Look, I spent $22 plus shipping and handling on this bastard. I'm gonna make it happen. So that was just a note that they both had weapons. Sorry, that was a long way around the barn. So basically, you're gonna have Ensign Alpo do this, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, delegation station. We've pulled
Okay,
in.
sir. Which one should I touch first? And I'd really appreciate it if you send a letter back to my mother and her second husband, Jim.
Starfleet security officers don't have mothers, Ensign Alpo. Get to work and go for the Romulan first.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. And he just nudges it with his toe, and he stands way back.
Ensign, get it together, man.
Must I say, you are so delightfully cruel to your underlings. That is a sign of a truly advanced and sociopathic life form. I'm finding you more interesting by the moment. So, yeah. So basically, he touches him, and the body falls apart. Just into where it touches it, it just sort of starts crumbling away. There's still a rest of a body, but it's still just crumbling away, turning into dust as if it had aged. I'm not going to give her the benefit of being right, but as if it were an advanced age.
I tap my communicator.
Hold on just a second. I gotta
Yep.
Yeah, hold on.
Ah,
There we go.
nice. Doctor, it appears that
Yes.
that all of the crew members or otherwise turn dust when we touch them.
Both of them? You touched both of them?
No, not the other one, as we may.
When you're finished touching all of them, call back. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, it's as
I'd rather not touch the other one, so that we do not make this a
between you and I, you know.
Sir, I
we
would
all
I
know-
would
we all
certainly
know that
not
you
want to
didn't
touch the other one.
anything.
I'm a
made Doc do
Pentecostal,
it.
and it's against us. It's against my feelings to touch these people. I'm sorry, I overran a player. Go ahead.
I was just saying we both know that you didn't touch it. We know that. We know who really did it. Anyway, please tell Incent Alco that he doesn't have to touch anything else. Thank you for the information. I'd say carry the other body back so I can look at it, but you can't do that. So just take a picture.
Quick. Now, am I monitoring these communications? Like,
Yeah, you indicated that
Unfortunately,
Keep an open channel.
listening
for
in.
you.
And I think in some ways I feel like the ship is clearly safe but mysterious.
Mhm.
And keep in mind that you have a penchant for archaeology that you didn't know about, and this era of history in particular. And I believe, do you have mystery novels as your focus, as one of your?
That is Civic, who has the mystery hollow novel.
What the hell do you have, man?
I like all manner of hollow novels. I don't like to pigeonhole myself into one type.
This does remind you of the short-lived series, the case of the disappearing corpses, which was by Hemlock Gnomes, because there were some things, the bits got flipped when it was preserved from the 18th century. But this actually is a compelling story.
All right,
you might even feel compelled to go down.
Norway to Lieutenant Commander Burks.
Yes, Captain.
I believe I called for Lieutenant Commander Burks.
Nope, wrong one. Sorry.
Yes, Captain.
I would like to attempt to beam over one of the bodies to sickbay and have you do a more thorough examination.
I'd like to advise against that, Captain. We haven't determined if this is a biological or physical altercation that caused this ship to end up this way.
I have to agree with the XO Captain. The only way that I think it would be advisable is if we were able to seal it in some way. And I don't see how that's possible with the bodies disintegrating.
Would a level 5 force field handle that? We could erect one around sickbay.
I would have to ask the engineer, but he's very busy washing his hands. No, not the engineer. Sorry.
The security guy.
Sorry. Yes.
Well, ma'am, I'm glad you think so much of a humble ensign, but my commander has done deadly squat to solve this mystery. I have been a walking 10-foot pole.
Yes, I don't know how easily we could seal it at default to somebody else to know if we could contain it. But as I said, the bodies are disintegrating as soon as we touch them. I don't know if we'll be able to beam one over in a way that's contained. And as the XO said, we don't know what the cause of death is on these bodies. We could be bringing over something that could be transmitted to the rest of the ship.
All right, hold on, Beta. I absolutely love this. She's, "Hey, we're gonna have to be careful. I don't know what'll happen to the ship. Hold on, I gotta tip this back. Okay, all right. This is the most crew I've ever dealt with.
um,
Yeah. Sorry. Go
I'll-
ahead, Captain.
no, very well, Lieutenant Commander. How about any one of your staff that you'd like to have come over? I'm thinking about beaming over myself. Seems like a little bit of a mystery we have here. I'd like to get to the bottom of this, being it is our first. And yeah, we can come over with any manner of supply that you might need to do a thorough examination.
Yes.
I believe, Doctor, do you have any of your staff that you would particularly recommend to come over with the captain on this, frankly, just batshit weird
Yes.
situation?
Yes. I have 2 medical officers in the
You only,
lab.
you only get one because I can't keep track of
Oh,
two. I'm 2 cups in. I need
that's fine. I'll just bring one of them. Gemma.
Gemma.
She's the redhead, short hair.
Ah, oh, Gemma. I think she knows Aikido. I think she took a cup. I think she took a first in the regional galactic games in Aikido.
You're thinking about Darcy. Gemma's too bookish. She doesn't do things like that.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We're just gonna play this out and have a ball. Okay. All right. So, do you think Gemma's gonna be happy to come on? Well, actually, she doesn't have a fucking choice, does she?
No, she's not going to like it. She likes to stay in the lab. She doesn't talk to anybody, but she's the smartest one I have on crew. So she needs to
Okay.
calm.
All right.
And is she an ensign?
No,
She's
she's a doc, so she'd be like a lieutenant.
Okay.
Now are these nurses because you're a doctor, I absolutely understand nurses are, well, pretty much the equivalent of doctors for the most part. Is it okay if I give them nurse, or do you want them to be nurse practitioners or anything
I was
specific?
gonna say let's give her like a NP PA.
You'll have to help something assistant, physician assistant.
Same kind of thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. One of my ex-wives is a nurse at the VA, and so she'd actually studied and dealt with LPN and all that.
Oh.
I'm trying to do my best.
There's so many.
I know. All right. So yeah, you're it sounds like Gemma is your right hand person. So yeah, if you want to call her up, Captain, I'll work with her. Actually, would you play Gemma, Doctor?
Do you want me to do both?
For right now, until you're both in the same room.
Sure.
And I'll do my best to follow your lead after you establish your character.
Okay.
Do a funny voice. Do a funny voice.
We'll go ahead and Captain to Lieutenant Gemma.
Yes, what is it, Captain?
We have been requested on the bridge of the USS Kitty Hawk. I would like you to grab as many logistical supplies that you can carry, and meet me in Transporter Bay 2.
She called for me? She wants me over there?
Yes, that is correct. And also, this is the captain. So.
Oh, right, Captain. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Transporter Room 2.
2. Okay.
All right.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay.
Did I hear a beep from the chief engineer?
Well, Darcy is sitting there going, "What does he want? We are busy here. There's so many band-aids. I don't understand." Wait, you
I
get
don't
to
know
go
what
on
they
the away
want.
team? You go on the away team? Not
Yes.
me. You hate away teams. You like reading. Why'd you want to do this?
I don't want to do this, but it's a direct order, so I guess I have to follow it. And the sooner I get there, the sooner I can get back here.
Okay. And I hate to say this. Can someone give me the whatever it is, the here, take this on your journey meme? Here, take this.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. If you could throw that on the screen, saying it's dangerous to go here. Take this, and she gives you like a med kit and a biocomputer, a biocomp for analysis.
Okay. And a pair of earplugs, so I don't have to listen to anybody.
Oh yeah, and a helmet, a space hat. You got a space hat too.
Okay.
So at this point, did you want to meet in the transporter room with the captain?
No, I don't want to talk to him. I just want to go.
But you do got to go to the transporter room. But you know.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna so have fun with this character.
If I may.
If I may. Sorry, go ahead. Circle now back around to the investigation team.
No, just the little. I'm gonna tap my communicator, Captain. It seems
Yes.
by my count, the 14th time I must cite Starfleet Regulation 34.8. No acting captain should be on an away mission away from his ship.
Sivek, is there anything there that seems to be in immediate danger?
Yeah, correction. The protocol is until the area has been secured.
Very well.
I will ask the commander.
I believe in Starfleet we call that
Snapback. Commander, your recommendations, is it safe for transport?
Yes, Captain.
Wonderful. And the captain is just patiently waiting in transporter room 2 for the lieutenant.
Okay.
Stevenson.
Lieutenant, are you yeah, Gemma?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna
Yes.
make it, you're making it to the transporter room, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not gonna throw shade at somebody who has physical models because I'm doing my best. Because I'm looking forward to seeing that shit when I play. And not dying.
Thank you.
Two things: seeing it, not dying. Those are my two goals. And so I hate to say it, I do not have a magic hat for her, so she's gonna go in a hat. It's gonna be a hat and a medical bag. That is how this goes.
Mr. Hat.
Her hat.
You're a towel.
There we go.
The towel is the thing I shouldn't have forgotten to take.
Okay, sir. It looks like we're gonna set you down. I've still got the locks that you wanted. I'm going to the orders are still that I beam you back at any moment, correct?
Yes. If there's any signs of trouble, you get us out of there.
And even if you're about to establish a breakthrough communication with a species that speaks only in metaphors. Not that that's ever happened, but I just want to check.
Would that have happened yet?
No,
No.
not.
Okay. That is
It
such
was
an
a
oddly specific.
hypothetical we transporter guys kick around every so often. The dramatic beam out.
Ensign, if you could transport us and leave the commentary for your off hours, that would be fantastic.
Grumble. Okay. No one appreciates quality.
Energize.
All right. Here you go. I have to find the transporter sound.
And if I could just meta real quick, who did you leave in charge of the con?
Well, that's a good question.
It's a good thing that one guy's off the ship, I'll tell you that.
If you told me I had to stay, I would have to. Sorry.
Can it, Gemma?
My entire
Lieutenant-
class. Sorry.
Lieutenant Wesk had the con, and I just left him in charge.
Okay. Lieutenant Wesks, is there any information I need to know about Lieutenant Wesk?
Fantastic pilot. He can have a little bit of an attitude problem if he hasn't had a proper night's sleep. So we try not to put him on the early shift. But other than that,
Okay, he's a bad waker.
I was gonna
Right.
say, does he like French pool halls?
I didn't say his last name was Paris.
All right, Lieutenant Wesk. So yeah, it's like, all right. So you guys appear on the bridge with the rest of the crew, two of which are hunched over a log system that has been shredded beyond recognition. So you guys, I hate to say it, we'll circle back around finally to the engineer and the XO. And it's time for you to ask some questions.
First of all, do we have somebody, communications officer, that may be able to start piecing this log back together?
Well, that would be you and him.
Okay.
We don't have a comms officer, and that is such a dated concept for when we needed
I mean,
a
somebody who might
secretary.
specialize in encryption and stuff like
A
that.
Well, I think that any of your crew could conceivably have a focus in encryption or science, but I don't know about that. Would anyone have anything that would seem to be a focus of encryption?
Research.
I have
Data
a-
analysis, research?
I have a focus in computers, and perhaps that would assist in restoring this particular one.
Okay. Who had research?
That would be the captain.
Okay. This is going to be a classic moment of looking over the shoulder and saying, yes, but did you try heuristic recursive algorithm?
You should always try the heuristic recurring algorithm.
Or even a recursive one. Yes. So you do start. What is going on back there? Does someone have castanets?
Someone's making pasta.
Oh, okay. So as you've worked hard to reconstruct, and basically, I need the captain. You can assist the engineer with a reason, and in this case, it's either engineering or science, and it is up to you what you want to use.
We'll do science.
All right, and that is your target. Now, Captain, you have a single die as an assist. Engineer, you can have 2 or more dice because the more you generate, the more you can ask.
All right, and I'm gonna be doing what?
14 is my target.
Engineering and reason.
I got a 15. My assist was not good.
So shooting
But you
for
did perfect.
shooting for 16. We got a 6 and a 2.
Oh, good. And with the
Nice.
focus, that generates 2 successes.
Nice.
Things have to go your way sometime, man. That generates 9. You have a cap of 6. So you really have to kind of spend down to 3.
Oh my.
You have a huge amount. The universe is open. Its mysteries are ready to be revealed. However, you can only ask no, fuck that. You can ask anything beyond a yes or no question. Just something that's focused.
Mm. Am I able to locate?
Oh, and actually, your team can do it too. By the way, go ahead.
Got it.
What's your
No, you're
follow-up?
fine. You're fine. You're
What's
fine.
your meta kind of? Are you able to? Yeah.
Okay. Am I able to ascertain or ascertain the location of the captain's logs, the former captain's logs?
Yes. You are able to isolate the captain's logs from the slurry of data, fragmentary though it was. Now, again, it may not even be temporally encoded correctly, so you can't guarantee much, but you can at least salvage fragments. And that is not counting against your question limit. That's basically against that's letting you know the level of information you're going to be receiving from this.
Okay.
And you've explained it to the people around you in a very dramatic, logical fashion.
Now, you said that we all could jump in on.
Yeah, this is the three
Getting
of you
this
sitting in
information.
this is the classic Star Trek view. Sorry. This is the classic Star Trek all sitting around going, what about this? What about that? What about this? This is the ultimate in collaboration.
I want to go. Sivek, is there any way that we can get the most recent log? I have a feeling that would more than likely have the closest information that we would need for what happened
Indeed,
here.
a logical conclusion, Captain. Searching. It's amazing how my voice changed.
Well, no, that's the computer responding to you.
Computer, recall Captain's log from its most recent stardate.
Okay, the computer spits out the most recent captain's log. Okay, the most recent captain's log registers not the captain, but yes. Sorry about this. I apologize. And I appreciate your patience.
Well, this is Star Trek, so.
All right. And at this point, streaming screen. Almost. The universe, it's coming to me. It's coming to me. It is coming. No, I have bot problem. Okay. A Lieutenant K. Dane, Kaydane, because I'm sure to write this down. This is a recording by K. Dane, and it indicates we're ready to try this. It's all none at this point. And then that's all the fragment you get.
Say it again.
It's all or nothing at this point. Is that what it said?
We're ready. We are ready to try this. It's all or nothing at this point.
Again, searching the captain's logs and using the keyword of Romulan. Am I able to find out any information as to how the Romulans ended up on the ship and when?
Okay. Let me check. That's how we let people know they're doing their computer in the 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pushing space buttons, and there's a big problem with this log. And where's the medical happy dance?
Oh,
I'm
And I told you so dance.
sorry, one more time?
Find the most.
I think you're having some microphone
Anyway,
issues.
okay.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
How about?
try it again. Yep, there we go.
Okay, so basically, engineer, you were just simply doing a mundane search for most recent timestamp. You didn't care what the timestamp was. You just asked for most recent. And you found it to be in terms of index in terms of the logs. But when you actually looked at the timestamp to regress past that time, it appears that the log entries are from 1,500 years ago. Relative star date.
So
This is
what
the
you're
point at which
saying,
Amanda gets to do her happy dance.
what you're saying is the doctor called you out.
I feel that a broken clock is right once a month.
You watch
However,
who you
the-
call a broken clock. I know what you think about when you go to sleep.
Oh my.
Oh my.
If you know what I mean.
Sivek, I know that face. Something. What did you find?
Captain, it would appear the last journal entry was from we're in the 24th right now, correct?
Yeah, you don't just roll with relative time. I'm just going to give everybody an example. Roll with relative time.
Got you. The last journal entry was more than a millennia and a half ago. And upon that discovery, I would like to see if I could.
Okay, that was for dramatic pause. Go ahead.
All good. I would now like to search the logs for the ship's manufacturing dates.
What? So what's going? Are you out of your Vulcan mind? Just a quick. Where are you headed with this?
Oh, I'm just seeing when or from how old it should be, as opposed in comparison to the age of the log.
Okay. Well, well, actually, you can't find that data because it's like shredded. About half your questions are going to go kind of into a hole. And that is not because I'm trying to be a jerk, but it's like about 50-50 you're gonna not get an answer. Okay.
Okay, dramatic music happens and back in character.
Well, you can actually.
I knew I should have paid attention in temporal mechanics more.
So, you see a log from 1,500 years ago, by a person who is not the captain anymore, and you can kind of presume it's acting captain, maybe. Ship's been in a battle, so who knows? You actually asked for an index search of Romulans, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And her comment is, if I can, please let me make sure I've got this. There it is. We're putting a lot of trust in Kareth, and that's indexed under Romulan.
Captain, it appears that the crew of this ship were working with the Romulans.
Curious. See if you can cross-reference spatial anomaly in the logs.
Beep, beep, boop, boop, bop, beep, bop, bop.
So, I'm gonna roll a die. Sucks to be you. All right. No. There's no one behind you. No one. No little extra friend is going to save you. You are on your own. You're not finding any reference to temporal anomaly.
Can we get the like the most current log of where they were coming from and going to?
Yes, the
Yeah.
astrometric data. That would be wonderful.
Okay. So astrometric data. Okay. The astrometric data indicates that the ship was on a routine patrol. It was in Gamma Hydra. It was patrolling the Romulan border. And then it at that point it changed. It was on its way. It diverted course to this sector. Now that's astrometric data only. It's just where the ship is going, where it's come from, and since the data is so low grade, so so simple, it's like heading, course, number. It's less fragmented.
So, something brought this ship from its mission to this
Did we scan the planet?
I don't think we did. I was actually just about to go. We should scan the planet for anything anomalous that might have caused this or caused the Kitty Hawk to divert from its course.
Should probably call over to Lieutenant Wesk.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead. Away team to the Norway.
Why do you guys make me keep finding that thing?
Need to get our own.
I don't have a voice. Lieutenant Wesk has no voice at this point. So, Lieutenant Wesk here. What can I do for you?
Lieutenant, I would like you to scan the planet's surface for any anomalous readings.
Like that it's not a Class H planet? It's uninhabitable?
Yeah, look for any indication that it might once have been habitable or any kind of tachyon emissions or anything that you wouldn't expect from a dead planet.
Okay, well, I'm an NPC, so I've got 2 dice, and no one's given me a focus yet, so we can write those in now. Is there anything in my background that might have helped me understand what's going on and help you better?
Captain, if I may make a suggestion.
Sure, please.
Everything that we've encountered so far, biologically and electronically, indicates that this ship is quite, the ship's not old, but the crew is, or that it's been somewhere or some time that's not our own. Perhaps the acting captain can scan the planet for any abnormalities in carbon dating or try to determine how long the planet's been dead for.
That'd
Okay.
work.
Well, I'll add that. Is there a bit of my Starfleet Academy history or some time that we basically spent time in a sweat lodge that would help you explain what if that I could do this even better than an average Starfleet crew?
I remember that one time I let you have dinner with me in the captain's quarters, and you told me about your past love of H-class planets. Like you, for whatever reason, were the master of H-class planets in the academy.
Oh yes, I absolutely love them. I just can't believe adaptable by pressure domes. There's just no better planet to have if you're a real go-getter, sir. So hold on, I'm gonna check. All right. Let me do a scan because I've got to flip from across universes here. Hold on.
Could I say something like I believe in you so much because you wouldn't be a member of this crew if I didn't believe in you, and give him some sort of inspiration as my focus?
Do you have inspirational speech as your focus?
I don't it just says inspiration. It doesn't say inspirational speech.
Okay, we're gonna put blow smoke up. blow smoke. So yeah, so no, he's like, oh no, hold on, I've got it, and there's some scanning. It's like, no, there's a high level of nucleonic radiation in the planet's surface, and I would say that, well, in he does look hard, and I want to be sure about this because this is unusual for an H class. I think that the planet was converted from a more terrestrial Majaka M class planet over to H class by some sort of a small antimatter explosion. And I'm getting the extra telemetry. It was probably a few thousand years ago that the atmosphere of the planet was ripped away.
Interesting. So we have a ship that disappeared 250 years ago.
Oh, are you talking to me, sir? I'm happy
Oh.
to listen to your stories.
I apologize.
Can we have breakfast again? I want the eggs.
Captain, I am
later,
sensing
Wesk.
deep physical attraction that the acting commander has for you. And if there's anything that you want to say to her nicely now to praise her for how well of a job she did, I think that would be very good for morale.
I would warn Captain, you should probably keep that
Yes,
professional.
actually. Lieutenant,
Of course. Captain, I advise caution.
we can discuss this later after the mission. But
Absolutely, sir. Will you be needing anything else, or should I conserve, or should I just go back to listen mode?
Can we download all of the logs and whatnot now that we have some power shunted into these like download them to the Norway?
I think the engineer can rig something up pretty quick.
Absolutely. I feel like we've got a decent amount of information here. Let's head back to the Norway.
One other question, Captain. Just out of curiosity, is if we can pull the crew log up and just compare to see if this Lieutenant K. Dane was what position they were on the ship.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a wonderful idea. We should definitely get a let's get a manifest.
Accessing library computer data.
Well, I was just listening in because that's the sort of thing that I do as a very supportive NPC crew member. And I will say that this person is listed as like 12th in command. She was a yellow shirt, which was command at the time, and she had an amazing beehive hairdo.
Interesting.
But she is listed on the ship's manifest, and she was a ship navigator, which is before we just sort of like put it all on ops and called it a day. So yeah, that person does exist in the ship's manifest as a member of the crew according to your database.
Okay.
And one of the other things is I want to swap back to our away team, our away team. Yep, I was just about to switch back to you for a very specific reason. You do make it to engineering. Did you know that?
I did know that. I'm a very competent security officer.
You're very competent at this. And you and Ensign Alpo make it to engineering. And I have to drag you from whatever pathetic hole that you've been stuck into.
Deck 4 corridor.
Yes, Deck 3, Section 3.
3-3.
Or section.
Because I am a simple man. I have simple needs. All right, Deck 3, Section 3. You are in engineering, and at this point, the loud, echoey chamber of the engineering deck, because it's so big, you hear echoes everywhere you walk. Your little footsteps echo through the corridor.
Vast.
There are probably a couple of dead crew here, if you care about them, but don't poke at them.
I believe
Unless
we've
you
learned our
really
lesson.
want to again and explain to everyone's family. And you do come into a fairly inert engineering section, which is a bit of a problem. You could really use an energy source, unfortunately, I hate to say this, to bring the controls back online. You could have it, oh, yep. I do not have the button anymore.
Captain, would it be okay if we had another power source beamed over from the ship down to engineering?
Yes, Lieutenant Commander. I was actually thinking about having an entire complement of engineering staff come over here and see if they can't get anything on this ship working, while we go back to the Norway and plan our next move.
The area here in engineering is secure, so that would be fine if you would like to send a compliment.
Okay.
Wonderful.
We're going to send is it okay if we, oh, sir, I have the battery right away. So the battery arrives. By the way, what's your engineering skill between you and Ensign Alpo?
I'm not sure about Ensign Alpo, excuse me, but my engineering skill is a big fat one.
You know, what do you know about Ensign Alpo's history before he transferred to security? From one vulture to another.
Again, likes to tell tall tales, short of temper, but tell you, Ensign Alpo, he can throw a bone at the old engineering stuff. That flopped miserably. I have no idea where I was going with that.
Look, they can't all be winners, okay?
They can't all. Well, Ensign Alpo, as you know, he transferred over because he didn't like the tubes, man. He didn't like being in the Jeffries tubes all day. It was a bug hunt, man, a bug hunt. So literally a bug hunt, because that's all engineers do is chase them down. That was a joke. Okay, fine. So Ensign Alpo says,
my IRL job.
Well, sir, I think I could. Wait, look at this, and he's drawing your attention to a panel, and one of the panels is just this mess of wire and spaghetti and cardboard, as is classic 23rd century design. It looks like yarn and spray paint is holding this thing together with Christmas tree lights. And but this isn't supposed to be here. This is weird. I mean, it looks like somebody just sort of jury-rigged something and put it into the structural integrity veil for the ship. I'm willing to bet that we could power that up and see what these people were doing.
Make it so, Ensign.
Okay, so he grabs the battery. It turns out it needs, all right, 2 charges. Oh, no, 2 charges. Let's get basic math down. And at that point, I need everybody to make a security and fitness saving throw at difficulty level 2.
Is that everyone?
Everyone on the ship.
Security
would
and
be-
fitness.
Security and fitness. This is where we find out how
And we
specialized
roll
people
2 dice for that.
Boy.
2 dice, or you can buy more out of the pool.
Can I buy a die from with momentum, because I have a whopping 10 as my target.
You suck.
Yep.
Let me get this straight. Whoops, I left your momentum behind. I'm sorry, you get 0. This is what we call the Citibank way of doing things. I've lost track of your records. It's your fault. Yeah, sorry, I apologize. You have an 8. I just need to make sure I grab the. 8. Okay, so wait, one person needed to buy dice. Did anyone else need to buy dice? You need 2
It's
successes.
fitness and security.
Fitness and security, you need 2 successes.
Okay. It's me 11. I got a 18 and a 5.
Okay, well, you got 1 success. That's kind of nice.
You guys are going to be very upset at your captain.
What'd you do, Captain?
Captain got a 4, a 10, and a 20. Uh-huh.
Of course you fucking did. Were 2 of them under? Were 2 of them under it though?
Yeah. Well, does the number
The number
count? Yes. Then I got 2 successes and a 20.
Okay.
I both had 20.
How are we doing, engineer? What have we got? Did you want to buy any dice?
Was it worth it?
It's worth it if I would have only gotten 1 success and a 20. I think. I don't know.
I'm sorry, were you asking me?
Engineer, your fitness and security.
Oh, 13, and I rolled a 9 and a 19.
Okay, so you have a partial success. And Matt, I think
Yes,
you got
2
2 successes
successes.
or 1 success? 2. So you hit Dorian's go and just plant. Security, did you manage to make anything work?
I did.
You have security.
I had,
You're awesome, actually.
yeah. I have a 15 total, and I got a 3 and a 10.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, it sucks to be 2 of you. I will tell you that. And Snalpo. Fuck. All right. He got nothing, actually. He's one of your guys, but he rolls an 18 and a 17.
God damn it, dog.
Yeah, literally, you're about to all learn how wounding works. But that will be for next week. Because what happens is that as the power leads are attached, the ship shakes violently. And by crazy random happenstance, all right, how do I get back to anything? Oh,
I'm not
yeah,
helping
this.
you. Last time I tried to, you ridiculed me.
Okay, how do I get out? How do I get out of this mess? Do I just click that button? Yeah. Oh, I'm going to violently ridicule people. Delete, slide, paste, slide, and at this point, the ship violently disappears, shakes, rattles, and this is why you all make dex checks essentially. And you are, the ship shakes, you know not where you are, but that is where we will end the situation.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun,
We
dun.
asked for this. We specifically asked for
Yeah, this is
this
your guys' fault.
nonsense.
Yes, you did.
I feel so bad. I was like trying to come up with the least likely scenario just to be silly with Wayne. And he was like, oh,
I like
great minds.
I like that a lot of you guys paid for your terrible rolls. Congratulations.
Yes, you bought extra dice.
I got two successes.
Hey, you know you still got the echo on, yeah?
Oh, who does?
Yeah, your engineering room echo.
The sound of engineering is reverberating.
Oh, thank you.
The other echo.
Clean. All right. Well, otherwise I'll just do something like, by your command or something like that. Okay. So,
Make
yeah,
it
that's
so.
it. What are our postmortems? And yes, that's the alter ego right over
Well,
there.
first of all, thanks everybody who watched tonight. Of course, if you enjoyed that, hit the follow button down there at the bottom, and check us back next week when we continue on this adventure.